Today on the Viral Report, we're talking predictive programming in kids.
I want you to play with my
ding-a-ling.
This act is over. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
I want you to play with my ding-a-ling, 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 ding-a-ling.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Viral Report. Lamar. Alright, so let's jump right into this thing because there is a disturbing cartoon that I'm not feeling. Now, it's coming out of Germany. The character is named John Dillerman. And they just released this cartoon this month, January 2021. And it's becoming a big hit with some people, while some people are not liking it. The pedophilia is strong in this cartoon. All it is conditioning children and parents to accept pedophilia. John Dillerman is a middle-aged man in the cartoon who wears a red and white striped bathing suit. He doesn't even have normal clothes. He just walks around every day in a bathing suit and he exposes himself. So whenever he wants to handle a task or save children or fly about, he doesn't go on a plane to fly. He doesn't whip out some sort of weapon to ward off lions and other threats. You know, he doesn't play tennis or badminton with someone else. He plays it with himself. You know, this is just a creepy and disturbing character. Dillerman in Danish means penisman. So his real name is basically John Penisman. And when he wants to handle a task, so let's say there's a lion. All right, there's an imminent threat to children. What he does is his penis will become erect. It grows, and it grows like a water hose. And he's able to tame off lions. You know, I wouldn't have a problem with this if it was something marketed for adults to find humor in. But to expose this for age ranges of children 4 through 8, I have a problem with it. I want you all to go ahead and check out this news clip, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
But we bet he won't be replaced with the new kids show Making Waves in Denmark. It's about a guy in a striped onesie with an astonishing male member, capable of feats like suspending him from balloons and igniting the barbecue, even saving kids from a lion. Reactions ranged from sick to it's glorious. The show is aimed at kids ages 4 to 8. Denmark's public service broadcaster, DR, said, "We've recognized young children's growing curiosity about their bodies and genitals. The hero's always having close calls. For instance, when a neighbor almost trimmed more than the hedges. Imagine being able to play badminton against yourself. At least if you get beaten by your own manhood, no cause for a tantrum."
John Dillerman, han er verdens længste dillermand. Der er næsten ikke noget, han ikke kan med det. Han kan svinge lidt rundt, han kan blive lidt flov. Han kan redde hele verden, hvis han bare fik lov. John Dillerman, John Dillerman, John Dillerman. John Dillerman, John Dillerman, John Dillerman.
All right, I'm crazy for that last part with that man crying. Yeah, I don't find this as a laughing matter. You know, now that last part I did find where I had the guy crying. I find that funny. There's nothing educational in my opinion about what John Dillerman is doing in this cartoon. And for the show developers to be passing it off as, well, you know, it's not such a bad thing because children are curious about, and you know, they find wee-wees and pee-pees and vaginas and everything like that funny. No. Who wouldn't find this disturbing? And especially to the age bracket 4 through 8 that it's marketed to. Like, this is just crazy. There's this clinical psychiatrist over in Germany. She finds that there's nothing wrong with this show. Now I want you all to go ahead and take a look at what her crazy ass had to say. She says,
"Look, I believe the show's opponents may be overthinking things. John Dillerman talks to children and shares their way of thinking. And kids do find genitals funny. The show, I mean, come on guys, it depicts a man who is impulsive and not always in control, who makes mistakes like kids do. But crucially, Dillerman always makes it right. He takes responsibilities for his actions. For instance, when a woman in the show tells him that he should keep his penis in his pants, he listens, which is nice. You know, he is so accountable.
He is so accountable. These people are crazy. How is this man accountable? Just because a woman said in the cartoon, keep your penis in your pants. Okay. And why does the man look like Hitler? I mean, if I'm the only one who sees this is just crazy on so many different levels. But you know what? Let me know in the comments down below. Would you allow your child to view this nonsense? This can be anybody's child around the world viewing this. If your child has an iPad or Android tablet, iPhone, Android phone, whatever, you can't 100% protect your children from everything in the world or everything on the internet, but just being aware of what they're watching and what their web browsing history is, it can go a long way. You know, it's the difference between your child staying on a straight path or going down some dark rabbit hole because of something they're exposed to on the internet. This is pedophilia at its worst. It's nothing but conditioning people, like I said earlier, to accept this type of stuff. So when a story goes viral in the media about something pedophilia happening, or even in your inner circle, if someone's molesting you, I think subconsciously this plays into the part of not even seeing anything wrong with it, or less likely to even bring it up. So moving on to Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Green. Ugh. Alright, so we got Marjorie Taylor Green. Now, Marjorie is an idiot. Not only is she an idiot, she's a racist. Now, Marjorie is upset that Joe Biden won, and she thinks that there was election fraud and that Donald Trump was cheated out of being president for a second term. Okay? Now, this is a woman. She's a congresswoman straight out of Georgia, you know. Loony, just like her governor. I'm sure she probably one of the people who support the killers of Ahmaud Arbery. She probably thought that they were upstanding citizens because they were doing what they were supposed to do in protecting their community from a goddamn intruder. Now I want you all to go ahead and take a look at what Marjorie has to say, kind of give you a sense of who she is. She just filed an article of impeachment. You know, this is a dead-end submission, but hey, she thinks that it's got some legs to walk on. She's got plenty of supporters out there, and you know, these people really want to make their country great again, take their country back. There's a lot of people out there who are afraid of, you know, Joe Biden's victory. Y'all take a look at this nut busting straight out of Georgia, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
Articles of impeachment on President Joe Biden. We'll see how this goes. There is an Islamic invasion into our government offices right now. Okay, they are. You saw after midterm elections, what we saw so many Muslims elected. I don't know the exact number, but there were quite a few. What we had that woman out of Minnesota. Now she's going into Congress and she's got to wear a head covering. You know, they want to put their hand on the Quran and be sworn in. No, you have to be sworn in on the Bible. But we have an Islamic invasion into our government offices. Now, yes, we have, I'll say this, we have freedom of religion in this country that protects anyone to have any kind of religion that they want. And that's great. That's one of our freedoms, right? But I'm sorry, anyone that is a Muslim that believes in Sharia law does not belong in our government. But the generations of Black and Hispanic men, do you want to know what holds them down? Gangs. Being in gangs and dealing drugs is what holds them down. The lack of education is what holds them down. That's not a white person thing, but gangs control them. They tell the young men in their communities, don't go to school. Don't you move out of this project. Don't you move out of this community. You join this gang. And that's where you belong. You belong with us. The gangs are holding them back.
It's not white people.
It's crazy.
This woman is straight up cat manure, okay? I mean, how can you sit there and utter those words? We've got terrorists in our government. We've got terrorists wearing things over their heads. That's not normal. We've got Islamic terrorists, these Muslims joining our freaking government, Black people and Latinos, you know, who's being held back by gang members in their communities. But they're out here blaming the white man for holding them back. This woman is nothing more but a clout chaser. She's saying anything and everything so she can move up the Republican ranks. And when you move up the Republican ranks by talking down on other groups of people, you become even more wealthier. Okay? She's a clout chaser and she wants fame and money. All right, so Marjorie is, just shut the hell up, okay? Your article of impeachment is not going to go anywhere. Joe Biden is the president. He's not going anywhere. This is just to appease her fan base and Donald Trump. These people are just trying to make a name for themselves. All right, enough of that heifer. Let's move on over to Larry King. Now, I'm sure by now most of you all have heard the sad news that legendary television news host and radio broadcaster Larry King has passed away after being admitted to the hospital back in late December after catching C-19. Larry King was 87 years old. Now, I want to talk a little bit about who was Larry King. He was a child to Russian immigrants who migrated to the U.S. in the early 1930s looking for a better life. Larry, whose real name is Lawrence Harvey Ziegler, was a child who grew up on welfare after his father died. After struggling in high school after his father died, Larry finally graduated from Lafayette High School in Brooklyn, New York. After high school, he worked hard to support his mom. He eventually found his passion in radio broadcasting, a childhood dream of his. Throughout the years, he worked his way up, taking on various roles and tasks during his radio broadcasting career. At one point in 1971, Larry was arrested on grand larceny charges and lost his job after a former business partner accused him of theft. Well, the charges were eventually dropped and Larry was rehired back to the radio station. Now, if there's one thing that Larry King liked in his lifetime, it was a good cigarette and women. He was married 7 times and has 5 children. His longest marriage was to actress Shawn Southwick. Now, Larry, he was no stranger to health issues. He's had multiple issues throughout the years with his heart, including strokes. His dad ended up dying from a heart attack back when Larry was 9 years old. So heart conditions seem like they run in his family, and I can say the coolest thing that I like about Larry King as he was able to amass a net worth of $144 million, all without going to college. Now, this is a testimony to anyone that a hard work ethic, passion, talent, and networking in the right circles, or just being in the right circles, is what gets you to those right roles for success. And that rings so much truer in modern society, right? Where nowadays more and more people are starting to re-examine the worth of a college degree. Nowadays, it's all about relationships. Who you know when you're looking to land that certain role with a company. Because a talented employee working, at the bottom of the company with only a high school education or some college education can work his or her way up the corporate chain, if they have the right skill sets. And if those particular skill sets are bringing in profitability for that company, the sky is the limit, So remember, networking is king, you all. So anybody out there who think they can't make it out of the hood, Larry King came from a welfare background. So I'll repeat, remember, networking is king to success, whether you have a college degree or not. After all, that's what an interview is hoping to achieve for you, right? Is to build a bond between you and the interviewer. So let me know down below if you have a favorite or not so favorite Larry King interview. I know for me, I loved when Larry King interviewed President Jimmy Carter and they were talking about aliens and Roswell. I thought that was so dope and so cool that, the president or former president at that time could go on national TV and talk about aliens. Folks, I'm in Los Angeles, California, and there you see is a freaking UFO command station. That's what's going to be in the Trump administration. Trump knows exactly what's going on with these goddamn aliens. It all started in 2008 with President Obama. And the only person that speaks truth on it is President Jimmy Carter.
UFO. Well, I was the district governor of 56 Lions clubs in southwest Georgia. And I had to visit all the Lions clubs and make a speech. And I was outside a school lunchroom one night, right before sundown. It was getting dark and we were getting ready to eat supper. And I and about 25 men were standing around, and all of a sudden in the western sky we saw a strange light coming toward us, a round light, and it got closer and closer, and right above the pine trees it stopped, and then it began to change colors from blue to red to white. And then it stayed there for a while. We were all aghast. We didn't know what it was. And then it just disappeared into the west. That was the end of it. However, I did not care for Larry King's 1991 interview with Bill Cosby, where Larry showed his real side. And that was the side where he possibly drugged women back in the 60s and 70s with Quaaludes, or was known around the rest of the world as Mandrax.
Spanish fly was the thing that all boys from age 11 on up to death, we will still be searching for Spanish fly.
That's right.
And what was the old story was, if you took a little drop, no, it was on the head of a pin.
Drop it in the Coca-Cola. Don't matter.
It doesn't make it, and the girl would drink it, and
She sure.
hello, America.
Alright, so this is the part of the video where I want to know, what do you think? So what do you think about John Tillerman and that whole craziness? Will you allow your children to watch that craziness? Let me know down below. And what do you think about Marjorie Taylor Green, aka Miss Cuckoo Nest? Do you think that the things that she was saying in that video clip I played earlier was actually correct? Or do you think that she's just clout chasing? Just crazy. And you know, what do you all think of Larry King passing away? You know, I know everybody in the news world is sad to hear of his passing. Are you sad to hear about his passing? Do you not care? And yeah, let me know. Do you have a favorite Larry King interview moment, or do you not? You know, and tell me, what do you all think about Larry King in that clip I just played with him and Bill Cosby, aka Bill Cosby, talking about Quaaludes, throwing them in a woman's drink, and she's scoffing down the drink, and right then and there, she's yours. Y'all heard Larry King and Bill Cosby say that craziness. So yeah, let me know what you all think of all this craziness. I love you for watching. Make sure that you hit that like, share, and subscribe button, baby. It helps the channel, and it definitely does help us grow. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
The magic stick. I know if I can hit once, I can hit.
Are you about to kill this man?
Pop these niggas like.
Who the
You dry shot me.
And then I got into an entanglement.
Quit playing. I didn't do it.
I don't know. We can put the best over here, baby.